Collecting high quality water is half the job. However, if you want your rainwater supply to remain fit for purpose, you've also got to make sure you maintain the quality of the water you've already harvested. Managing any standing water within your system to prevent and limit hidden activity is central to achieving this. Once rainwater is captured in the system, there are two areas you want to focus on so that you can maintain a high quality, and that's the water inside the tank itself, as well as any water sitting in the pipework underground or anywhere in the system for that matter. The three main goals to this step are to prevent sediment resuspension, reduce the opportunity for algae to grow, and to prevent the opportunity for anaerobic fermentation to occur within any pipework. Over time, it's natural for a layer of sediment to build up at the base of the tank, so the speed at which this sediment accumulates is really controlled by the level of filtration that you've got installed beforehand, with tools such as rain heads or first flush diverters. That said, having sediment in the base of your tank is not necessarily a bad thing, as it typically stays put there unless it's stirred up and resuspended. Important to reduce the chance of this happening so that it's not drawn into your water supply. The first step to preventing the resuspension of this sediment is to create a small buffer on the base of the tank so that even when your water level is low, the sediment's not stirred up. The easiest way to create this buffer is to ensure that the outlet, where the water is drawn from, is at least 100 millimetres or about 4 inches from the base of the tank. This little layer of water on the bottom is going to help to dissipate the load of any incoming water as it's flowing in. Of course, when the tank is partially or completely full, it's not really going to be an issue because there's obviously a much larger buffer. Another way to control the inflow of water into your tank is with a calmed inlet. So this changes the direction of the water as it enters the tank so that it doesn't fall directly on that sediment layer, and this reduces the chance of any of that sediment being stirred up even if the water level's low. Algae needs sunlight and nutrients to grow since it photosynthesizes like any other plant. The tank screens and rain heads are going to help to reduce the nutrient load in the tank, but it's ideal to have a solar shield to block out the sunlight. Different sorts of solar shields block out light using different methods. Some even have integrated fins, and they help to disperse the flow of water flowing into your tank, and that's further going to reduce the chance of any sediment resuspension. Now, another area in your rainwater system where it's important to maintain your water quality is in the pipework. This is especially important in the case of wet or charged rainwater systems, as there's likely to be more water sitting in the pipes in between rainfall events. If it's not carefully monitored, the water within these pipes can become poor tasting or malodorous due to some anaerobic fermentation happening in there. This process essentially means your water goes off as a result of the low oxygenation found in the pipework, and then its interaction with organic matter and any microbes and bugs inside the pipes. Just like in your tank, it's normal for a small amount of organic matter to accumulate in the pipework. However, as we mentioned in step 4 around leaves and debris, it's important to minimise this by installing rain heads prior to that system. An easy way to reduce the chance of stagnation of the water is to periodically drain your charged lines. It's simple and effective at preventing standing water from contaminating the rainwater in your tank. Depending on your location and your setup, draining the lines after each rainfall might be required, but normally it might be every few weeks, it might even be every few months. It depends on the debris load and the quality of water that you're chasing, and the volume of water and the frequency that you're willing to sacrifice that. You can choose this with a manual valve or with an automated version with programmed intervals. Whatever option you choose, the best practice is to install a device at the lowest part of your charge line, and this is going to ensure that you're draining the full body of water in those pipes. Some or all of the elements we've described here might apply to your system. Adopt the practices which will suit your personal system, and it'll make sure that you've got your rainwater remaining at its best.